to start building up your own labor pool, because by the time you're 18 to 20 years old, you had to be sufficiently skilled that you could take over for your dad. The reason for that? Coal. We used coal as our heat source in the old days. Gets up into the air as dust and down into your lungs, and your body can't get rid of it. So by the age of 35 or 40, most blacksmiths were dying of what we call black lung or miner's cough. So very short life, but everybody needed you. From the good miners and the good mothers in the Shire needing needles and scissors and ladles and pots and pans, all the way out to the knights in their shining armour. Nobody could do their job till they first came to see the blacksmith, and for more than 3,000 years it was that sweaty man at an anvil. These guys were really important. This was kind of like magic if you think about it. Arthur C. Clarke, he said that significantly advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, and this was kind of like magic in the old days. These guys had the command of the 5 known elements: earth, air, fire, water, spirit. They made everybody's tools. They were bigger, uglier, and stronger than everybody. So who better to be like the unofficial mayor or judge in a town, yeah? And out here in California, we had blacksmith shops built first. Often churches and schools came a lot later, yeah? And out where we live in Angels Camp, that whole run on Highway 49, the ladies in those towns in the 1850s and 60s, ladies of ill repute. Fandango girls, ladies of the iron doors. Well, you'd never be able to marry a man in a church. No, not like that, yeah? But you could bring the miner of your choice into the blacksmith shop, and the blacksmith could hammer out a contract right there at the anvil pertaining to anything from real estate, arbitration of disputes, even marriages, yeah? And in the old days, why, the blacksmiths, because there weren't many jewelry stores, yeah? And on that long cross-country journey during the gold rush, you might meet the man of your dreams in the wagon next to you, yeah? And so, for a token for your wedding, you take a horseshoe nail, make it round into rings, and those became prairie diamonds. They were so popular during the gold rush for tokens of marriage on that long cross-country journey. Now, in the old days, a blacksmith and was more common in a town than a priest and a Bible or a doctor in a medicine bag. And imagine hammering out a contract at that anvil that goes way back, because the first iron we ever worked as a human society came out of the heavens in the form of meteorites like that one right there in front of you. That's nickeliferous, nickel and iron. Changed our lives so much, we still name our children Nicholas and Nicole. And there's this dude at Yuletide who comes out of the sky bearing magic gifts himself, and his name is Saint what? Saint Nicholas, after that nickeliferous right there, but it's not in our collective memory anymore, yeah? So a promise made on an anvil was considered more binding than a promise made on a big stack full of Bibles. Keep in mind, most of us common folk couldn't read till less than 100 years ago. So the wiggly bits that came off of the face of the anvil and revolutionized domestic life and warfare meant a little more to us common folk than the priest's fancy books with their squiggly lines in it. So you could come in and have the blacksmith hammer out a contract, or you could have the blacksmith heal a sick child. If you had a sick child in the old days, the first place you came was to the blacksmith and his wife, she was often the midwife and the herbal healer. And the blacksmith would take that child, put him here on the flat of the anvil, strike the horn of the anvil, that pokey part, not the child, 3 times, and the ringing of the anvil was thought to ward away the evil that infested that child. Now, if that didn't work, then you took them to the doctors, who we called leeches, for a reason, and you prayed they might survive the cure. And we're going to close by telling you the 4 bestest things about blacksmithing, which is all about being a big giant kid trapped inside a grown-up's body, which we hope you all are too. We say never grow up on the inside, no matter what gravity does to you on the outside.
You gotta try to resist.
Resist all the way. Number 1, We get to wallop on things with a hammer all day long, get our aggressions out.
Yes, it's very therapeutic.
Number 2, we get to get filthy, dirty, and nobody minds.
Just comes very natural to me.
Mr. Dirt Magnet, me and Tide. Number 3, we get to be as noisy and obnoxious as we want. And the 4th and best thing, Blacksmith.
The very best, we get to officially play with fire. It's the fire thing. Let's give Christy a big hand.
Woo, thank you. And let's give Michael a hand for sweating for you.
Thank you.
All right, so it's the raffle time. We had a few people come up late. If you want a raffle ticket, we got a couple minutes. They're $1 each or 6 for $5. I made 7 miners candles, and the bonus item will be the Blessed Bee sign for today. Tomorrow's bonus item will be the spiral I made out of iron I found out here in the desert.